The healing is already a deep process. I like what I see.
It's a continuation.
Oh, that's the memory? Fine.
Let's get present. Ground your feet. Relax. Untangle. Inhale, exhale. Mouth open, mouth open. Relax the jaws, mouth open. Safety. Send a message to the body that we're safe. Don't restrict the breath. Don't restrict the life flow. The Mitzarim, the whole spiel is that we're in restriction, we're in restraint. We're like shriveled up. So open up, relax, open, spread the wings, can't finish arm. Close your eyes, get present. It's been a hard day, everybody here had a hard day. You guys were out there doing the thing. That's that's where we need to check in. We need to check in on the physicality of it. We need to check in as to the tougher my day is, the more I can feel, the more I can touch. Don't get confused with the distraction. Check in with what you're feeling. You're all trained check-inners. Been doing this work long enough. So check in. What do I feel when I'm upset? When it's not going well? Get into it. Simple. It's not a 4-quarter thing. It's just checking in. Feel what it's doing to your body. Start learning. Direct it into the moment. Direct it inward. See where the and with that tells us Chassidus, with that, because the highest falls in the lowest, where else is it going to land? The tippy top comes to the tippy bottom. With force, with might. Dealing here with Atzmas Oyer Ein Sof. What is Atzmas Oyer Ein Sof? It's that thing that created everything. That thing that is a manifestation of everything. Because he's Ein Sof, there's Oyer Ein Sof, so he's mispashat in everything and everywhere. From the biggest to the smallest. But that's a spashtas, that's just an expression of, but it's not is, it is not is. It's not the Noichi. It's not Ani Hashem Elokeichem Emes that we say every single day. And we should all have the emunah to believe in what we're saying. I mean, Ani Hashem Elokeichem Emes. I am your Ich bin dein Eberste, das hat er rausgenommen von Mitzrayim. So that is Atzmas Oyer Ein Sof. So the question is, how does something that is Ein Sof, Tachas Apshitas, how does it show up? When he wanted to show himself, what did he have to do? He chose this. He chose this world. This is how he wants to show. So in this Dir B'Tachtonim, as he's manifesting and he's showing up, there's different levels of him. He's Ein Sof, don't forget. Even though he limited this into 10 spheres, but it's limitless. So in this 10, there's Ein Sof, different manifestations. But when he shows up, with the highest frequency, the highest consciousness. When he wants to communicate somebody that speaks to his level, somebody that we have an understand. He gets it. They understand it. They get my humor. They get what's going on. That is Bnei Yisrael. That is Yisrael. Alla b'machshava Yisrael. B'ni b'chod Yisrael. The first thought that this thing ever had was B'ni b'chod, was Yisrael. From that thought, here we are. In one level. But then as he shows up he comes into Welt, so we can touch him and feel him, he comes down here as Yaakov. There's a consciousness called Yishmael, Esav, all types of names. There's a consciousness called Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Yaakov is a combination of when this thing that is Ein Sof and is everything, when he wanted to show up in Welt in a specific way, he wanted to manifest his chesed, there goes Avram. That's a Merkava. That's a piece of godliness walking around on the street on planet Earth. This is what it looks like. What's what chesed looks like. When he wants to show up as Gevurah, Yitzchak is here, and then the final balance is Yaakov. So Yaakov is a vessel that can hold the flame for Yisrael. Yaakov is the Akev. Akev is the bottom, heaviness. So this Yud that's Chachma, comes down, and it comes off in Beersheva, and the Kurtzah Yud is the Keser, that it taps into nothingness, and then it recycles it into this. The Shamavaya, Hoive, keeps hoiving itself, it keeps becoming and being and soifing itself into Shem Elikim, which is Teva, and also which is Ekev, which is Yaakov, Yisrael. So check in with yourself and start feeling, when you're feeling that resistance, when you're feeling the pressure, what am I feeling? And go with it. And that's where you'll find yourself. And at the level of self that you're at, that's what you'll find. Enoi Movale. So we're in Kislev now. We're in Kislev. We're deep in Kislev. Kislev is a powerhouse. Kislev is when our neshamas are shining. It's the month of miracles, not because I'm going to become a miracle, I'm going to have a miracle, it's a miracle month because we're operating from neshama, we're operating from the light. The 8 candles, this is the Oresh Mashiach that we're tapping into in a weekday. And it's in the Akev. It's in the Akev. Where else is he going to show up? How else is he going to do it? About to put us into a squeeze so we can hold, learn, become. So let's go back to topic, because there's, Hanukkah is coming. I wanted to go into it, but then I felt maybe it's a little too early. So we'll see what happens, but let's get this, the Parsha ties, everything ties in, it's connected. Remember, we are already in Tafshin Pei Aleph, which all the Yom Tovim lined up exactly the way it was in the first time, or whatever it was, like the perfect alignment, the way it's meant to be. And this year we're in Panim B'Panim, so everything is coming together. We're able to see how everything fits together. So, a goy, as we left off Friday, has no bechira. because he is just a manifestation of something. He's not a tachlis kavana. His purpose is his means to an end. That's what it is. He can't change anything. And somebody hits a Yid, it's not him. He has no control. It's just a manifestation of the opposite of Yud Kei Vav Kei. Right in your face. When a dog barks, that's as real as it gets in physical world of Elokus. Barking, like have fear or whatever the message is, whatever needs to happen. So Goy is no bechira. So we are in a Welt that really is locked in a caste that has no bechira, it has no movement. Its hands are tied. We have the key because we have bechir, because we have a neshama. There's a nefesh elokus on top of that nefesh bahamas, which is everything is teva. Teva is designed exactly the way it is. Everything is organized in an exact way, and it can't change itself. But we could change because there's a nefesh elokus. And nefesh elokus doesn't. Nefesh elokus has the key. How does he do that? Because in every type of spin he sees, he has a key to bring oir into that, to bring elokus into that. To make a yichud, that's the whole thing, because it wanted to be involved. So we represent the highest consciousness of that, and if it wants to make a yichud, it's going to be through us. So we're the light and just holding and just trying to burst through. And we're dealing with Esav, right? We're dealing with his koyach, with his toyu koyach that he couldn't finish because he was too caught up within himself. It's too strong. It's too powerful. So we needed Yaakov. Yaakov has the anova. Yaakov has the bittul. Yaakov ish tam. So with bittul is how we get through this. Bittul is check yourself. What's my expectation? Maybe my expectations are wrong. Maybe I'm not seeing it. Try to find where it feels good, where it doesn't hurt, and also recognize it's your ego, and you can celebrate that too. You know, my ego has fears, my ego has desires. Some of them are good, some of them are good, they just need to be filtered, so it's the kavanah is different and everything changes. All of a sudden you're in flow because I'm doing it, the same thing, just I have to adjust my intention behind it, my desire. The flow. Because there's a flow, so if I'm not aligned, it pushes sideways. So, with the mimer over here, we had where the Friedrich Rebbe is saying that a Nisayon, there's two types of Nisayon, there's two types of obstacles. There's an obstacle of food, and not obstacle. I have a title for food, and I can't hold myself back, and I say no. That's one type of avodah, and but that is by engaging with it. I'm engaging, or if I eat, I make a bracha and I do something positive. So that's engaging with it. Then there's the other side of that, where it's an asayan. An asayan is the basics of what we started. Is that the magician has two hands, one live, one dead. One hand he does what he does, and the other hand he tricks you with, he confuses you. But at least there's some action there. There's one live hand, he's actually doing something. Choshech has two dead hands. It has nothing of its own. Completely nothing. All it has is confusion. And as I'm saying it, I feel this almost like a little anger in my chest, because as you watch the choshech, you watch what they're doing. You know, like you watch the news and all that. Especially if you tune out for a long minute, and then you just pass by and you watch, and like they're still doing the same thing, just confusing people with a bunch of garbage. Like they're creating this whole thing so you get distracted. There's nothing there. He has nothing to offer. All he has is his gain is by confusing you. That's how he lives. That's how this klippa looks like. It's that freaky and it's that energetic. There's nothing there. Just a bad energy, manifesting and coming at you. So that has so if you're at that level, you operate with that level, then you're entangled with him. You're in dialogue with him. And that's the surmera. You can go with him, he can go with you for 20, 30, 40 years, back and forth, figuring it out. And you're going to mirror it back, and you're going to see it, and all this, nothing is changing. because he's just engaged with you. That's all he does. That's his whole day. He has two dead hands. He's not offering anything. The only way out is by stepping above, going into the Yud, going into Yisrael. You have Bechira. You have Bechira. You know how you have Bechira? Not the way Choshech wanted us to fight through and work harder and do more and go and fight and see through it and set up your goals and for the next 30 years. Not like that. No, that's not how you're going to win. Your Bechira is here to step up. Immediately, you're out. There's no discussion. What do you mean? How much time do I need to stop getting nervous? How much time? See it, become present. You know where it's at. It's just an exercise of, okay, I'm distracted, come back, distracted, come back. Breathe, check in, whatever it is. So our Bechira is this is how we're using this. This is how you're stepping into this. It's right here. Switch on, switch on. Start, any squeeze that you are. How do I get out of this? And it sometimes is as just some completely disassociating or disengaging, going for a run or go drink something or don't even look at it. Get into a positive mode and then come back and see what happens, how it opens up. Exposing it. That is iskafia, that's ishapcha. Not giving in. We're not playing here anymore like children. It's coffee. I'm going to hold myself back from eating something that I really want to. I'm not going to do it. That's child's play. You got that. Everybody knows you eat healthy, you feel good, whatever. Everybody here looks fit, right? You know where it's at. It's mind, body, and spirit. It works together. So, mindful eating. Iskafia is my thoughts, my emotions. I'm pulling back from reacting, and I'm stepping into acting, whatever the case is. It comes from here. It comes from the gut. It comes from the stomach. Is it true? Does it feel good? Do it. That's where it comes from, and this is how you're deichel de choshev. This is how you activate your bechira of stepping up, of stepping out, and that's how you negotiate with Choshev, by not talking to him, just stepping out. And change should happen. It has to happen. It's energy. It's not real. That's what it is. And we have neshamas, and neshama is, as I saw yesterday from the Alter Rebbe, neshamas do not. When they do shir, they don't. There's no sound, because it's all nasaga. This is how we communicate with the neshama. It's all in the asaga. It's all in the mind. So then there's mizmor, then there's shir. So there's two different ways of expression, and everything is a vibration of Creator, and we have the vibration of Creator, of the Eibishter, the highest, and B'nai B'chor Yisrael, and He chose us. Why? Because He could have chosen anybody, because that's what He wanted. Listen to this, right? Yeah, somebody get it. He could have chosen anybody. He could have been Esav, it could have been Yishmael, it could have been anybody, and make them the nation that He's going to invest in. Right? We're not perfect, right? But He chose us because that's what He wanted. What does that mean? I want you to close your eyes and feel that. He chose us because that's what He wanted. That was His desire. That's what He felt in His heart. That's how He expressed His heart. The expression of His heart is this expression. That's why. It's the month of Kislev. I mean, it's the month of miracles. It's the month that it can. It's that's it's open. The doors are open. It's there's tremendous light, which means that the emunah is activated. The emunah is responding. And if Amun is responding, then we can go places. So now is the time to step into, double down on these days, because the way you transform now, this is it. You can go with this. This could be out from your Mitzrayim, your Galus, and you're stepping into your Beis Hamikdash and your Mashiach. Let's have a little time here. Any questions?
I had something, I forgot.
Good. Well, that means that I answered the question.
No,
Doesn't mean that you forgot. Right? Yeah, as long as that thing is. Yeah, I know. I don't know if I'm ready. Let's do a little. I'm not. Let's get grounded a little more. So. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm feeling tonight. It's like maybe like there's an opportunity, new energy. So let's all just step into opening up our hearts.
Too much.
What's too much?
Too much are coming.
There's never too much are coming.
No.
Bring it on.
Okay, I'm just saying could be that's.
No, it's just
the feeling that it's so much, it's so good that sometimes it's hard to believe how good it can be.
I'm reminded almost every day that it could be worse. So I'm saying the other side. So no, I mean nothing in particular. Like everybody, we're all reminded. So no, no. It's just it's a new. We've never done Kislev and Tafshin Pei Beis. Nope. Kislev Tafshin Pei Beis is Nachamanish Kamish Ganazoi. Do of their consciousness.
Yeah.
It's in this moment right now.
This moment right now, yes. Yeah. So let's breathe in. Open up your chest, open up your heart, let it flow. Good achas, let's all connect in a circle the same way we're sitting, coming out from our hearts, from one to the other, from my left to my right, and then going around in one big circle. You know, like a whitish, beigeish type of color light. Activate your brain, your head, get into your head. What do you see? What do you feel? See, rather. Go down to your throat. What are you feeling in your throat? The back of your neck. Feel a release. This week is, and the parsha is where Yaakov fought Esav, Sarshal Esav, and he beat him. He got him. Got him. Well, you hit him in the Hoid and the Netzach, and we took a hit, but that's what gave us Chanukah. Remember, if you push out Choshech, it's going to pop right back at you. So it cost us an extra 2,000 years, but the level of consciousness that we gained from it. In other words, because we know how to take a hit, we know how to fall. What we've been through and what we go through, what every single person goes through, and the level of the comeback from that is, not everybody can do that. Ganze nations have disappeared, and we, not too long ago, we were nothing, for sale, and here we are. So we know how to take a hit, we know how to come back from that. You can't put down a yid, because we're not behemoths. We have nitzchus, we have a higher conscious, we have a neshama. And neshama operates on, it's a constant connection to source, it's Ein Sof. Within a minute, boom, you're back. Mekinim afardal, and we're all down, Shechina is on the ground, and then it just picks itself up, because it's not dealing. The only way I'm staying down is if I stay down, if I hold my head down, if I let them hold my head down, if I negotiate with it, if I get into that vibration, that's when they can hold me down. But the minute I realize and I raise, I get up on the spot. So feel your spine, feel your whole going all the way down, shadow going down. Feel the energy, electricity, light. Blue, yellowish, going into your side, going down the legs, connected. Tola Eretz Abulimau. We are practically suspended in air, mid-air. The ganze Welt is start of the lift. Gravity is holding it in place. And that is the hand of Creator holding us. Anybody wants to share something?
I would like to share that I'm grateful to sit in this circle, present to all the artists coming together. It's a beautiful moment. I'm grateful for it.
Where in your body do you feel it?
I feel it in my torso, my heart.
Focus into the back of your neck. Everybody focus into the back of your neck. Feel what's happening over there. That's part of, that's the oil, that's also the das. This is the Kamfen Isharim, the eagle's wings. When he rises above, he's able to see from above. Goes stepping into the light.
trying to get in the way of it.
You guys can anybody can stay with. If somebody's a process, you can stay with it while we have discussion. Just stay with the flow. It's okay. You don't have to get out somewhere if you are somewhere. Go ahead and talk in a
Yeah.
soothing tone. Yeah.
It does not feel. It's sometimes very hard to go with the flow, like doing things with whatever comes your way. Spaciert, yeah, and then sometimes feels weird. Like, don't I have to do something that is like that I came up with, like, and just going with the flow? Like I'm giving an example. I'm with somebody now, whatever, we want to take out an office, and we found an office and we're putting in. No, I'm just. It's funny because I'm telling him. He goes, "Great. What if this? What if that?" I'm like, "Listen, whatever comes our way, we'll deal with it then." And he's
Sure.
like, "Why? Can't believe." But it feels weird to me that I'm just going with the flow, and he likes it. He's like, "Wow, you're keeping me in check."
When you go in flow, where do you feel it in your body?
Everywhere, my stomach, my heart. I mean, mainly my stomach. I mean, when I trust, and it's just.
Okay, good. So now you know it's there. Let that pull you. So all it is, it's first of all, it's the ferris. It's a midah. It's one of our attributes of what we're made out of. Just pay attention to this. This can be important. So it's.
Is that the right way to go, though? Is it?
Yeah, of course. This is the only way. What's the alternative? So the kids at Amaisa. So it's I can't see. So so let's go back to focusing on tools. The tool is that there's different energetic fields within our bodies. I can pull from my head, I can attract energy from my head, I can attract energy from my arms, I can get aggressive, I can run. I can also I can pull from my stomach. Alright, so once I connect to this vessel, to my teferis, and it's properly aligned, it's a flow. It feels good, and you can draw from it more and more. Because you connect it to your source, to a higher source, rather than being clean kapelig and I'm trying to process from my ears, or I saw like this. What do you feel? Fears, gezuk, people are listening, and the head gets put down deeper into the mud. Because somebody said on the news, and there's all types of fears and chazara, because I'm applying a small little tool when I have this large machine here that I can just pull from. What does it feel over here? Does it make a difference what's coming, what's not coming? Do I know? We've died in the past. It's fine. It's okay. We come back. Big deal. So for that, I'm gonna destroy my whole. For that, I'm gonna get into a spin. I get it. It's not easy, but this is it. This is how you get out of party, or you can stay in party. This party is on the head and on the heart. It's not physical. It's in the head and the heart. It keeps us trapped in the head and the heart. If they wanted a physical goals, we wouldn't be on Instagram. We would be hauling bricks. It's in the head and the mind. That's why we're stuck in the computers and all types of mashigas. So apply the big tool. Apply the teferis, the balance.
What's the back of the neck?
Back of the neck is the das.
What?
Das.
That's what you said, das.
Yeah.
So, wait a minute. That's where the knot of the filling goes?
Yes.
What a finish of Moshe, right?
Yes.
So what is das? Das is to know or to let go?
Das is to become, to be.
But officially das is like to understand.
Bina is to understand. Das is my connector.
It's higher than?
Das
Das is
is,
higher than Bina?
yes.
It's knowing.
Das is being one with it.
It's not even knowing about it.
It's
being,
after
it's
you
being.
know, after you had the chachma, you had a flash, after you were mispashir and bina, and after sometimes you have to pull it down to your heart, to your midas and all that. I go to shul, I daven, I know that after I do all that, first I did it to become, because I wanted something. First I did it because I was afraid of my Rebbe, then I tried everything already. Then I get to a place of das, where I just become one with it. It's like knowing your arm. Knowing your hand. I don't need to think to move my hand. It's one with me. It's like that thing that you remember from when you were 8 years old. Oh, you have such an amazing memory. No, I'm mesmerized by it because it's etched into my soul. It had such a dramatic or exciting impact on me that it became a part of me. That's why I remember. So too, now, instead of letting Klippa edge into our souls fear and trauma and childhood garbage, I get out of my gullus and I'm starting to use that das to raise my word, to become one with my chelik hatoif, to become one with my light. I'm starting to edge into my amazing memories. I had a moment. I had a good day. I had an amazing conversation. I had an amazing fabrengen that made an impact on me. Make that a part of you. That is das. I don't need to think. It's automatic that I know that this is what it is. And then you become a chelik of the Merkava. Like you become in Dvekas, that's called Dvekas. I shouldn't say Merkava, I said Dvekas. You're Dovik, you're connected.
That's flow? That's called flow?
That is God and flow. No, God flow. Yeah.
It answers two key things at once. Das is flow technically. Like,
Das is Kavan Tori. So you have Keser, which is irrelevant right now. You have Das, you have Tiferes, Yesod. This is the Kavan Tori. This is the Nesher. This is the center line. I'm not balancing myself only on kindness, on chesed. I'm not balancing myself only on restraint. I'm not balancing myself by going into Netzach or Hoyt, where I'm we'll talk about it over Hanukkah. Netzach Hoyt. But I'm balancing, once I have all this information, my Tiferes holds everything within, has all the midas, and it makes Seder. It starts organizing. And once I bring it up from my desire into my Tiferes, and then my Das, then I'm Keneshet, like we'll pick ourselves up like a Nesher. You're able to ask my confidence, this is how you glide through your problems. This is how you glide through your choshech. And eventually you don't need the choshech anymore to glide on. You can just self-sustain only on recycling good. Because we don't need the choshech anymore. Because now you have the tool, you have the Efer part, and you already know how to look at choshech. You stare him down, you laugh at him, or you don't even negotiate with him. The biggest fear that the Nachash had was that, the biggest frustration that he had was that Adam didn't look at him. He didn't even notice him. He was so involved in Atzilus, he was so in Yechida, so in Dvekas, that he didn't even notice that there's somebody walking around that I need to get excited about, some, whatever, a woman or a tithe or whatever it was, any type of call. He was so involved in Dvekas, so he couldn't deal with that. And he was afraid that he's going to be left there. He wanted to have it taken to it. Right? Or he was just bad, he couldn't help himself. Right? It's all in the same. So he got himself in there. Once he touched it, nukva tohem rabba, it sucked it all in. And this is where it's at. It's the nukva tohem rabba is it's an achla v'shetzi. It's a fire that burns. It's like almost like swallowing fire. It goes in and out. If you're too far away from it, you're out of the action. If you get too close, it takes you right in. So this is how it goes. You walk on the street, and all of a sudden a deal comes down, and you get, if it's not 100% because somebody's going to get hurt in the deal, but I'm sucked in. I'm straight, and all of a sudden my fear, my anxiety comes up. I'm sucked into Nukva Tohem Rabba. This is the no. This is how everything comes through that. Everything goes through the Nukva Tohem Rabba. You have no choice. In this world, we're in Gehenna over here. It's a box. So you get in Nukva Tohem Rabba. Now, once I have the tool, and I know how to raise my vibration by not negotiating with it, because as I negotiate, I get closer, then that thing, same thing that the flies had. Just this one is way more advanced and it's way more frightening. So, because some of these zaps can take you years to snap out of. You're in a spin for years. Marriage, business, whatever. It can take years to get out of a spin from one of these zaps. So now that we have, though, we understand where it's at, that I don't need to look over there and over here. I just need to go inward, moment, and that's what the Nisayon gives me. The Nisayon shows me where I'm at. When the Nisayon comes pressing right like this, I know where I need to be. I need to focus inward. Without the Nisayon, I'm not. Without the squeeze, I don't know where I'm at. I'm davening, I'm doing my thing. Well, why am I stuck?
You mean like the Nisayon actually forces you to be present?
Yes, that's what that's this minor. Because until now the avodah was to engage. Now the avodah is to disengage. I don't need to make sense of it. This is the Eikev. This is the Ikvus Mashiach. We're at the bottom. This is right there where Malchus and Keser meet. You're going into, you're in Malchus, you squeeze, and then from me raising above the occasion, stepping the Seitev, I find myself, because it makes no sense to me, I don't understand it. It's Lamaila B'Talmud. That's because you're touching Keser. And then you're in. So this is what the Nisayon gives. The Nisayon gives us to go, and this is what Avram did with Yitzchak, where the Akeh, they went into Akkad, they went into. He gave us a mothership all the way up there, where nobody has access to. Nobody can operate at that level. Nobody can operate on such a level where to try to make light from this chosh. In other words, in that type of light, in that type of oil, you have to be in this type of chosh. And nobody has this avoided, but we have Yitzchak Avinu, we have the power of going inward. I know that Friday comes, I'm checking out, whatever it is, and then you start widening that Friday, So the Nisayon is here to turn inside, rising above. So that's what it is, getting above. That's the key. Going upward. Upward means Asayatov. And that's a Keser, that's where you go into Lamana Matamadas. Alright, any questions once again? Okay, someone have enough. Let's open it up. So to be fair, we're talking on here in a very, we're talking very, very truthful over here. So you have to be prati, check in. What does it mean to just be okay, go with the flow? So we were assuming that everybody here is responsible and they have somebody or somebodies that they check in with. Is this being responsible? Am I being a flow? Or am I just being lazy? Right? And if you're in check, then yeah, that's it. Just I did my part, and because we've all had the other side where you're doing everything accordingly, nothing is happening. So we know that that's not where it's at. There's something else. There's another message over here. There's something more important. That's where to be real with it. But listen, anybody that's doing the work, learns, davens, is responsible. You're not playing around. You're not going to be sitting in bed. Well, I did mine. No, we're fully responsible. I check myself a lot. You have to, because you never know. It's like, am I just what's responsible? But don't worry. Like every time you step out there, there's always going to be a father and somebody that's going to tell you how important it is to go make money.
Right, so
there's
with
enough
money,
doubt going in there.
was this my biggest challenge? Because I know I'm doing my effort and doing my shtadlis, but it's like trusting that.
Titan Emes Yaakov is, as the Rebbe Rashab asked a question, what do you mean Titan Emes Yaakov? I'm going to give truth to Yaakov. If I give Emes Yaakov, Yaakov is Emes. Yaakov is Emes. He is the Emes. What do you mean I'm going to be giving Emes Yaakov? And Yaakov is our day-to-day struggle. That's our Yaakov, and we're dealing with a vessel that's made out of truth. Comes the Rebbe Rashab to the conclusion that Titan Emes Yaakov is that Yaakov is Emes. There's Elikim, there's Shem Elikim, which is the physical, which is the Teva, everything in the bricks and the blocks. In my day, bricks, blocks, the maze. Then there's Yud Kevavke. That's the Yud of Yaakov. The Yud Kevavke, which keeps hoiving it. And then there's whatever feeds that Yud Kevavke, That's Yisrael, all of Moshe. So that's what it means Titan Emes Yaakov, that we are here, truth, and then there's our unique, our source is way higher than that. It's where it does not make sense to you. Is where it doesn't add up. Now again, I take out the word again, and now I don't know how it applies to each and every one of our lives, but you can find it. You have to do your own isbonenus. You can check in with it, but you have to do your own isbonenus to find where is my Yisrael in my Yaakov, my supply. And have no fear, because you are already in the worst. You've been there, we've all been there. So Titan Emes Yaakov, we have that gift too. We have Emes. We can rise above. You can just to give a little context. You can find light. You can turn anything into light. You can turn anything into light. You can turn anything into a positive. The outcome of a negative outcome lies within me. I'm making space for it. Haraya, the person that just got killed in Harlem River and whatever up there, or anywhere in the world, you have no connection to. We have zero connection to. Oh, because it's not shaykh to me, of course. That's the point. It can only affect you if it's shaykh to you. Thank you for that. It can only affect you if it's shaykh to you. So the problem that arises in my day is shaykh to me. It means I'm making space for it. It's just a mirror image. It's just showing up. Hey, what do you got for me today? What do you got for me today? You want to be miserable? No problem. Let's play misery. Activate it. Done. Step out of it and you rise above it. See how far off the argument we were. Let's say all the time. And then we'll do Ashika over there. L'chaim. Let's all the time, yalla.
בידי אפקי דרכי איז שם יוירו ויש נוחי give me your seat. I know I leave, but like you know, but you're dying. I'm getting okay, but yeah, it's shine. You know.
Alright. You ready to go inside?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Let's do it.
Alright. وبزي يوغن.
Read the words?
Hmm?
Read the words?
Yeah, of course. Hmm? Yeah, no problem. If we must begin alle Jacob we mishken is so the snei and Yanam Yifodam. Hine oil of dire are in mishken dire kva. We had a question before. Matei will lech mishken secha Jacob Yisrael. Matei will lech Jacob. How good is the oil from Yaakov? Mishkan Asecha Yisrael. So it looks like one is a oil and one is a Mishkan. So the question was, yeah, it's on. Yeah. So the question was that what's the difference? Why is there a difference between the two? So he's gonna Diras Ara is something that it's a dira that is just like a summer house. Dira Kava means something that is Kava, it's Kaveya. It's my home. If Yaakov had oil, the Shalom and Mishkan, the Hinek. Yesh beis oifana avodas. There's two ways of channeling, processing oil, processing light. Avoda balai sakim, avoda yeshu oil. There's the avoda of the balai sakim, which is the people that are business people. The avodas yeshu oil, which is the people that are sitting in koil all day. Ka'abalam Esakim Nikram Yaakov. The Bala Esakim, which is each and every one on this table, where it is called Yaakov. Shehu Yud Ekev. It's the Yud Ekev. We are from the consciousness. Our bodies are made out of Ekev, Yaakov, Yud Ekev. That's why you are out there in the front lines, not sitting in Koil, because we are from a higher place, a higher conscience. Yes, higher than the guy that's sitting in Koil. The guy that's in Koil is Israel, and we know now that the lower something is, must be that the higher it comes from. So if I'm dealing with, and I know that everything is Elokus, everything is godly, everything is spiritual, everything has energy in it. So if I'm dealing with the lowest level energy, that there is in Veld, where it's much better to sit in in Koil, it's much better to be sitting and my father-in-law is giving me a check every month, and I don't have to do anything, right? But that's not the life that we have, because we're from a higher place. In order for that higher expression to act out, it has to come in a lower form. It means that everything you're dealing with, dealing in the front lines, cursing and being unhappy and getting muddy in the soul, that's what we're talking about. Because we are from the umbrella called Yaakov, from a higher, higher, closer to Kesed. It says when Mashiach is going to come, there's going to be a olam hafuch. We're going to realize how opposite it is. The people that were on the bottom are going to go to the top. It's just by design. And now you know how the system works, not just a vector. The lower you are, it means you are closer, you are higher from a higher source, and you're closer to Kesed. As you see clearly where you're at right now versus the other people that are still sitting in Koil, they're still trying to understand something, and you already are something. Just like the ekev, which is my heel, my ankle, is the end of the guf. So too, it appears that it's from the madregas tachtonis becomes from the kohen called Israel. Lafisha terudim tamad Panasem, we're always busy with our panas, our vedasam, be'egir, atzumum, be'egis, nefesh, be'egis, baser. Our avoid is yigir from my etzem, it's pasha, turning me inside out. Or be'egis, nefesh, be'egis, baser. My whole nefesh has to be invested in this. And all my flesh, my physical body. Al ve'emes. You listening, Machi? It's important. Skedai maybe I should call you in on the phone so you can hear it in the bathroom. Because you're missing out the meat. Al be'emes, hine behem val yadam, I'll talk louder. Dafke. Hine be'emes, hine behem val yadam dafke. I'm assuming that everybody here has enough emunah and bittul to know that this is not just vertla, that these higher conscious not just decide to do like, let me give him an inspirational Tony Robbins speech, $1 million. This is not an inspirational speech. When they're saying a land, this is what it is. Otherwise, it's not emes. Because you're dealing with the highest, purest love. Every tzaddik, every rebbe, right? We're not getting it, but this is it. This is Chabad. When he's telling you like this, Ava be'emes, through the Bal Esed, the guy that goes out there selling kitchens, dealing with therapy, dealing with garbage, dealing with plans and building department excavation and recording, whatever it is. I think I include Amazon. Okay, be'emes, hine be'hem al yodam dafka. This is what holds up. These are the guys that are standing on the front lines in Gaza. This is it. You can be thinking that you're all that holy and all that, but there's a kid standing in Gaza, and not for him, you are not sitting home tonight learning and giving milk to your child. Okay? Because there's one yid that has the Mesiras Nefesh that says, no problem, I got this. I'll do this for you so you can have a night of sleep. And if you're, for a yid, to have menuchas hanefesh for 1 second means that Eibishter is processing highest level of oinig. Tachas hakavana, boom, that goes on that kid. While yadam dafka, through us, dafka who kim kol komis Yisrael. The ganze komis Yisrael, because if not for us, this guy sitting in koil that doesn't even know about his shtei sidus under his ears, he would not be able to sit in koil. This little kid living in his delusional head that life is all good and we are all powerful and the goyim are all that stuff. He would not be able to have this fantasy world if not for us being out there taking the beatings for that, to process all that choshech that's coming, standing at the border. This is the yud from Yaakov, from the Ekev. In other words, we're in the bottom, but we're mamshech, shemamshichim hayud shehu nekudas hayahadus.
This is the Nakud of Yehadas, which is all of us. Gam ba'ekev, down into the bottom, deep, deep, deep. Gam sham nimtza. V'hainu, the gam behind Yonam Apshutim, the Mischer V'kinim, Mamshichem Midas in the Yonam Pshutim, through Mischer and buying and selling, Mamshichem, we're Mamshech, we're pulling down Midas Tovis, good Midas, which is good energy, good light. Ugimilas Chasadim, and a sin is Tzedakah V'ahavas Rein. Love your brother, just love each other, express it, getting together, thinking, being like-minded, and feeling safe. That's Ahavas Rein. That's where Shechina is shorter. There is no Chetzonis. There can't be any unique. V'kasher hem kavim itim laTorah, and when and through when they are koveh itim laTorah, coming to a shir, checking out. Hine mezeh nachas ruach gadol l'mayla malad ein sof baruch hu. Through that, there's a tremendous nachas. There is a nacha ruach, like a spirit. Your energy from your brain goes up. L'mala mala. It goes ad Ein Sof Baruch Hu forever. It keeps going, and until it reaches the Atzmas. And it's known, it's known to the public. Learning Torah Barabim, to saying Tehillim, V'limid Alacha, V'agada, and Mekom Mekanikas at Diris Ara. This is still called the Diris Ara. Avol Yoshve Oil. We have Tamid Chacham, Shoiskim Tamid Bator Bekvias through this Tamid Chacham that I Kaveh Torah Bekvias Nikat Ras Diris Kava. V'zeh L'chsev V'yokem Edes B'Yaakov the Torah Sam B'Yisrael. There is an aid that came up from Yaakov, which is the Torah that the learning is an Edes V'Torah Sam B'Yisrael, and he put Torah in Yisrael, in this conscience called Yisrael. Shatorah Atzma Shehi Chachmei Allah. Torah is Chachmei Allah. Torah comes from the highest, the first level of consciousness. Hanikra Yichola Elah, which is called the Heichel Elah, the Kitchebriche. Sha'orein Sabarchim is Galasham Betmidas, whom is Galab Bechinas Yisrael. Now, there's a Heichel Elah through learning Torah. There is a Heichel Elah that Torah is Sam B'Yisrael, that when we learn Torah, it goes into the Heichel Elah, the Kitchebriche. Sha'orein Sabarchim is Galasham, this thing that created everything, that is Betachas Apshitas, and he doesn't show up anywhere, but there is one place that he shows up in a very revealed way. The way is through his kaviyachol, his essence, the way he wants to show up, is in the Heichel of Torah. So when we're learning Torah, we're entering into that Heichel. This is where we're walking around. That's where he's Mizgala Batmidish, always. That's where he's always accessible. Because we cannot process this thing that is higher from our brain, this thing that created everything. But he put himself in, he was mitzamtzam himself into the letters of Torah. So when you're learning Torah, you're picking up these pieces, the Pac-Man pieces. This is what you're picking up. Picking up this powerful light that the Creator was mitzamtzam. Aval edus ein daraka arab b'chinas chachmei elah, hu nimshach b'Yaakov, v'lechein nikar diris are. That's called diris are. V'zeh ma tov elech Yaakov, the hale Yaakov hem tovim, ikamamer in tov el Torah, tov is Torah. It's still a diris ara. Aval his ask is tamle b'Torah shem mishkanis Yisrael hinali yosef shu diris kavad. Through learning Torah, you're stepping into a diris kavad, the winter home. In the Zois b'chalken beis madreges v'yam chaluk mezem mezem. Amnam kol zeh hu b'avodah the seder madraga the oz yesh chilikes madreges el v'metachne. Avakash avodah b'zman hazeh b'zman ha-galus hu abirer. Avakash avodah b'zman ha-galus hu Bahabir Nitzotzes, the Nisyonis. Right now, the avodah is to be Mavar Nitzotzes of Nisyonis. With Mesiris Nefesh. Through Mesiris Nefesh. Nobody's asking anybody to sit here and start learning. You have Yeshir, but the work is out there to processing Nisyonis. Because if we're not going to do it, the guy that's sitting in Koil has no clue what we're talking about. To overcome a temptation, to overcome fear, to overcome worry. We are processing that for them so they can go ahead up there and they can sit and learn. Avakash avodah, yeah. As hina hala Yaakov kom mishkanis Yisrael. V'zeh matay v'lech Yaakov da adei avodah b'bchinas ma u'bitla yesh shloi mo'ir nikudas ha'yahadas v'oim b'nesoyin hina az toiv v'lech Yaakov kom mishkanis Yisrael. That's when our oihalim become just like the mishkanis Yisrael, just like the person that sits and learns. V'hina bilam chafetz l'kal Yisrael. Bilam wanted to encourage the Eden, this conscious called Yisrael. L'ksiv v'yhavach Hashem v'yapach Hashem v'lekech l'chol seklol l'bracha. He flipped it over from curse to bracha. Shehi bat k'nesis bat midrashim. V'ashras hashchinim b'Yisrael. Behind that is the Hanhoge in Misrol Hurmalam. This our communication, interaction in Misrol is Lamalam Ateva. It's higher than Tamada, something that makes sense. V'zeh Havaya Nama V'zeh Havaya Nisi. This is Hashem Nisi. Havaya Nisi, because when I am in a Nisayon, Havaya is activated. Havaya is tapping me in the shoulder. Havaya is Lamaila from Elikim. This is Elikim. This is Havaya. It's something higher. So when I go into Nisayon mode, when I'm being tested, my patients are being tested, that means that Havaya is calling me. Because Teva, a lower frequency problem is in Teva. When I'm getting in Nisayon, that means Havaya. It's a higher consciousness that's calling me. So turn your head, which we know, or we're gonna still get to know. Turn my head to this higher, to the Havaya, not the squeeze. The Adai bid in the Tzotz and Nisyonis, through being Mavar in the Tzotz and Nisyonis, Hine Havaya. Here is Havaya. Hu Nes Shalona She is Galo Emez V'Hakoil Yakiri Datev Atzmu Huelikis. This is the Nes, the Nisayon, that the truth should be revealed, and everything should recognize that even Teva Hu Elokus. Again, my Nisayon is here. My Nisayon, my shortcoming in my week, in my pressure, my relationship, my wife, my business, my friend, my betrayal, is here. That I should recognize that Teva itself, when I'm eating this cracker, Hu Elokus, that is a piece of godliness. My problem is a piece of godliness, a higher energy, a higher. Just like there's a cracker, there's a problem. It's all energy that is Eibishter revealing Elokus. It's all Eibishter. It's all Inoy Mavada. That's what it's here for. All right, close your eyes. Anybody have any block in their flow? Speak up, please. If you have somewhere you're blocked and you want to be open, let's see if we can find the Havaya in that. Does anybody feel anywhere that they have a desire that's in the wrong place? A misdirect desire. My desire is a missile, and I shot a missile down into the earth, into Nukva Tohem Rabbi, and needs that yanked out and be released from that.
Yes.
Okay. Go. What is it? And everybody else from here can just tap into what he's saying and just follow the process and release yourself from that. So go ahead.
One place where I work, every time I come home, I feel out of flow.
Every time you come home, you feel you're out of flow?
I feel out of energy, out of flow. It takes me hours to come back to myself.
So when you go to work, you go away from yourself? And when
in
you come...
in one place, not
In which place?
in an specific agency where I work.
When you come home, when you go there, when you come home, you feel out of place?
I feel over there also out of place, but it takes me a lot of energy and just I can't. A regular day which I work for myself, I feel very good and energized. And if I go there, something is just blocking me.
Okay. Where do you feel it in your body? Breathe. Lean back, lean back. Put your hands on your lap, both hands. What do you feel in your body? So I'm going to talk back to you, mirror back at you. There's one place that you go, that when you go there you feel drained, you feel pulled down. It takes you hours to come back.
Yes.
Where in your body do you feel that? So, because the feeling I'm feeling it in my head. That's what's distracting me. Let's get to the shoulders. Where do you feel it? In order to release the muscle, you have to go to I have to point the finger. Which finger I want you to open after it's been tight for so long. Because there's a part of you that is restricted. That's why you are stepping into that lower frequency.
I feel my chest is hot.
The chest is hot. My chest is hot is a flow of energy. It's not a block of energy.
So I felt it mamish till I checked in. With the minute I checked in, I stopped feeling it. I felt it the entire day, and till I spoke, I felt it very much in my feet.
Okay, good. So go there, go to the feet. I want you to become present, and become present to the feeling of this place that you walk into. Every time you walk into, even the thought of going there, you're feeling a block of flow. Where do you feel that? Get really present.
I feel it's a conflict between my mind and body. My body doesn't want to be there, and my mind wants to be there.
Why does your mind want to be there?
Technical reasons. Getting my hours, getting my license.
Okay. Where in your body do you feel? See, that's a vision. Technical reasons is a vision. Now let's turn that inward. Bring it into the body. What's happening in your lower abdomen? In your sexual organ, you said, what's happening over there? Your thighs. That's a height. What's happening over there?
My entire body is hot. It's hard to pinpoint like a specific place now. It's interesting because still I checked in. I was feeling very much in my neck, in my feet. But now like everything cleared up for some reason.
Okay, so the neck and the neck is just it's just like a emanation. It's a manifestation from the real source. So when we're in a lack of flow, and a lack of my yesod is in a lack of desire. My desire is stuck. So now there's two choices here. There's two options. Option number one is that you don't go there, but you have to go there. Option number two is to activate compassion. You're being called over there. You think there's a conflict. There's a conflict between your head and your body. Your mind wants to be there, and your body doesn't want to be there. If only your mind wanted to be there, you wouldn't be there. I'm thinking right now I'm by the coastal, but I'm not. My body is here. The only way I can be there is my body is there, and then my mind can be here. This is part of the confusion. So your body wants to be there, your mind doesn't want to be there. How do we know that that's the case? Because you're there. Because in our minds we're all millionaires. In our bodies we're not. Because I physically have to acquire that. So let's follow where the body is. And if the body is there, then that's where my gut, that's where I'm pulled. So now, breathe into that. And you check yourself. Can I leave? Can I check out? If the answer is no, then it's called Kabbalah Zod. I'm accepting this is where I need to be. And Hashem is going to make the best out of it. Everything's going to work out. You may need a resupply of this every couple of weeks. Fine. It's a tough mission. Some missions need constant reminder of what's going on. It's a tough one. You may find your footing there. You may find your einig there, your pleasure, your flow. But that's where it's at. Now, if I'm deep in, if I have an ingrown nail, I have to peel back. So I'm going to surrender, get to the core of it. This is where I am. Then, from there, we can make change. But first you have to see where the muscle is holding you. in order for me to rise above, to activate my das, I have to first see where am I going with this. The deeper to the core you go with this, the more you're going to be able to pick yourself up and release it.
Feeling all heaviness on my chest.
What's the heaviness?
So I think I don't want to be there.
Can you leave?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Just fear.
Okay. So then, okay. So if you can leave, then leave. What's holding you back from leaving?
Just fear.
You feeling that it's stopping your flow?
Yes. So I know from other days when I'm not there, I come home energized. I can be there for my family.
Okay, so then maybe it's time to go. If you want me to process this with a clear head, I can't do this right now. Right now I can just go into energy of it.
Yeah.
What's the fear of leaving?
I think it's not for now, whatever. If you allow me, I can go deeper.
If you guys want to engage with this, go.
What's the fear?
So, fear of not getting my license. But at the same time, while I'm there, I'm not flourishing myself. Why do I know that? Because I do the same work in my personal office, and I feel very good.
Why? The pay is better?
The pay is better, the energy is better.
So there's a proper exchange.
Yeah, and I can do whatever I feel is needs to be done.
How important is the license to you?
It's a good question. I myself don't know.
So you need to figure that out. I think that's the mahal to go. How important is your license? The Rebbe was not into college. The Rebbe said we don't need to go to college. The Rebbe went to college because his father-in-law, the Shver, which we're learning right now, told him to go and made him go. He did not want to go. I mean, he aced on everything because it was just that it wasn't even. We're not dealing here with the Busser Radam. But he believed that we don't need it. The only thing is, if you go into people may want to, for your business, they want to have a license, or maybe if the mission, if your work, you have to look at it this way, if you can process more light by having a piece of paper that shows the people, and through that they feel they can trust you more, then maybe it's kedai, because it's for the greater good. It's for a higher purpose.
But it means another few years working in this type of energy, which I can't take.
Listen, if it's gonna, I know exactly what you're saying. Imagine working in a clinic. I mean, we're online over here, but yeah, fine. It has to be processed. But again, if it takes that much to be, because the average guy in Williamsburg may not surrender to somebody that doesn't have that piece of paper in order for you to take him out from Mitzrayim, then you got to go undercover. Listen, I was undercover for 20 years. I was in Williamsburg. But at least you know what you're doing before. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Some days. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Baruch Hashem. I'm gonna try this for a second. Let's see what's happening.
What color is he?
Blue.
Anything running? Anything you see? Anything else? It's raining. Nice.
Maybe water.
Is it running upward, up and down, or it's from up and down, or from right to left?
Right to left.
They were focus into the top of your head. Feel the pulse on top of your head. There's a pulse on top of the head. I see it in a baby's head. Feel that pulse. Breathe into it. In other words, when you breathe, try to focus your breath going upward. Activate the brain. It's almost like a breath going from the mouth diagonally up, hitting the center of the head. Relax your head as you inhale. Feed that pulse. That's the pulse to a higher conscience, to a higher, pulsing a higher energy, a higher vibration. Anybody else wants to share anything? Anybody else wants to question or clear something?
I feel a lack of flow. It's basically with tefillah and tefillin. I feel that I really want to put on tefillin every day, but I can't tap into what is blocking me of what's so hard to just put it on. And there's only one day in the week that I put it on. It's on Sunday that I don't work, so I have a lot of time.
Give me your hands. Relax. Breathe. Open your hand. I want you to imagine that you're opening the center of your palm, like an eye. Eye of fire. It's black and round. This is called the fire in the middle. And let the energy in go flowing up your hand, going through your hand, going in through your shoulder, filling up your heart. I want you to imagine a colored light like red. Streaks of red, streaks of yellow, streaks of different shades of yellow, black, lighting up a fire in your heart, center of your chest, starting to burn into your throat, into your head, pulsing, into
into your teferes, your whole body, your legs connected to the ground. Focus into your, keep your focus in your heart. Okay. It's I want you to feel that resistance. There's a lot of resistance in your head, in the center of your head, almost like steel. I want you to step into that. Don't try to fight it. Don't try to become something else. Just step into your resistance. Feel the resistance. The resistance is it's the pilot, it's that rod that the fire runs on. That's what it latches onto. That's who you are, that's who we are, that's the etzem. My resistance is my etzem. It's my will. Relax. Put the other hand also in your lap. Morty, why don't you just breathe? Relax your jaws, breathe. Don't be so stiff. Just relax, let it in, it's okay. Dive into your stomach, dive into your pit. Don't worry about the shell.
Don't